Hey everybody, Scott here from Camco. Today we're going to be showing you how to install the Elite S weight distributing hitch kit. Before we get started on the actual installation process, we're going to make sure that our travel trailer and tow vehicle are parked on flat level ground and that the travel trailer is parallel to the ground. This is needed for later when assembling the ball mount. We're going to begin the actual installation process by installing the hookup brackets on the trailer A-frame. These hookup brackets can be installed on a top mount coupler style trailer or a bottom mount coupler style trailer using the bottom mount coupler adapters. So let's pre-assemble the hookup bracket. To do that, we'll take one of the smaller hex head screws included in the hookup bracket bolt package, then we'll run it through the top hole of the hookup bracket, and we're going to put a corresponding flat washer on there, then through the hookup back strap, then loosely put on a serrated flange nut. Now we're going to figure out where on the trailer frame this pre-assembled hookup bracket goes. Ideally, these brackets will be located 30 inches from the center of the ball coupler socket. But the Elite S is designed with installation flexibility. Sometimes RVs are designed in ways that inadvertently place the battery box and propane tank mounts right where your weight distributing hitch kit's hookup brackets need to go. The hookup brackets for the Elite S can be installed anywhere between 26 inches and 30 inches from the ball coupler socket. Once we determine the location of the hookup brackets, we're going to place them on the frame in the predetermined location, being careful to install the back strap directly against the frame, not over any electrical wires, propane lines, or things like that. Next, we're going to find the set of holes closest to the frame for our lower set of hardware. Take the hex head screw, put the flat washer on first, put the hex head screw through the hole in the bracket, then, and this is important, you've got these hold down bars with the tether. You're going to need these later. Feed the screw through the loop end of the tether before putting it through the back strap. Then finish with the serrated flange nut, just hand tight for now. Now repeat these steps for the hookup bracket on the other side of the trailer. Once the hookup brackets are in place, double check your measurements, then tighten down the hex head screw and serrated flange nut. Tighten them gradually, alternating from top to bottom to ensure that the bracket assembly and strap are squarely clamped on the trailer frame. Now it's time to set up the ball mount. But before we can do that, we need to determine what the height of the ball needs to be. So to do that, make sure your trailer is parallel to the ground and measure from the ground to the top of the ball coupler. Once you've got that measurement, add 1/8 inch for each 100 pounds of tongue weight. This measurement will compensate for squat. In our case, the ball height measured 19 inches and the trailer tongue weight was right around 1,100 pounds. So we added 1 3/8 inch to our original measurement of 19 inches, giving us a height of 20 3/8 inch. That's where we want the top of the ball to be. When you get your measurement, write it down so you can refer to it in the next step. Next, we're going to slide the shank into the hitch receiver and grab our tape measure and ball mount so we can figure out which set of holes will get our ball closest to our predetermined height. Place the ball mount on the shank with the ball at the height that you predetermined and identify the best holes for your setup. Insert one of the larger hex head screws through the lower holes in the ball mount and the corresponding lower hole in the shank. Put a split lock washer and a nut on the other side. Hand tight for now. Now that we've got the ball height where we want it, we need to determine the head angle. Getting the correct head angle requires a little bit of guesswork based on how heavy your trailer is and how heavy duty your truck is. The greater the downward angle of the head, the more preload you'll have to put on the spring bars. The greater the preload, the more tongue weight gets distributed toward the front of the tow vehicle. You don't want to just go for max angle though. You want to hit that sweet spot where the tow vehicle and the trailer are level with the ground. So to actually set the angle, the Elite S comes with 2 adjustable washers that will be installed on the ball mount's upper hex head screw. Each side on the adjustable washer has a number 1 through 6. Each number provides a different angle setting. Setting 1 will provide the least weight distribution, and setting 6 will provide the most weight distribution. We knew we needed more than the minimum weight distribution, so we started at number 4. We inserted the hex head screw through one adjustable washer, through the ball mount and shank, then through the other adjustable washer, and then adjusted the washers so that the number 4 on each was facing toward the trailer. Then we put on the split lock washer and nut, hand tight. Do not torque down the bolts just yet. You'll see why in a moment. To verify that we got the correct angle, we want to make sure that we measure the height from the ground to the front and back of the tow vehicle before we put weight on it. The easiest way to measure this is either at the front and back bumpers or the front and back wheel wells at the center of the wheels. We measured at the wheel wells. Once you've got your measurements, write them down. Now that we've got our head angle set, we're going to hook up the truck and trailer with the spring bars. Once the coupler is over the hitch ball, we're going to engage the coupler lock. Insert the spring bars into the ball mount, then raise the tongue jack to make it easier to load the spring bars onto the hookup brackets. To load the spring bars onto the hookup brackets, we need to use the lever hook. Make sure the spring bars clear the rectangular holes in the hookup hanger. Then insert those tethered hold-down bars facing inward, and install the R-pins in the holes in the hold-down bars underneath the hookup hanger to secure. Now we're going to raise the tongue jack to transfer the trailer weight to the weight distribution hitch. To confirm that the tongue weight is distributed evenly, remeasure the front and back of the tow vehicle again. Both the front and rear dimensions should decrease approximately the same amount for a properly distributed load. If the difference in height change is greater than 1 inch, the spring bar preload should be adjusted accordingly. So, after we remeasured the front and back of our tow vehicle, we found that the back went down and the front went up. We were at a 4, so we're going to adjust the washer to a 5 and see how that works out for us. So now that we've adjusted the washers to the number 5 position, our ball head angle is showing a properly distributed load, so we can now torque down the bolts on our ball mount to 260 foot-pounds each. And that's it. The Elite S is now installed and we're good to go. I hope this video was helpful, and thank you for watching.
Camco.